Good morning, His Excellency. Good morning, judges, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Cousin Harrison Hawk, and I'm here today to talk about the power of storytelling. I believe most of your first impression was, oh, so this boy is going to talk about the kids thing, right? Actually, no. Storytelling exists everywhere at every corner of our life. Storytelling have a powerful impact on our life. And today, I have 6 points to prove why storytelling is so important. First, it is about connecting people. The second will be about inspiring people. Third, it widens our perspective. Fourth, it's about introducing us to moral. Fifth, it's about enhancing our imagination. And last but not least, entertainment. So now without any further ado, let's jump right into our first point, which is about connecting people. Imagine that you are in a situation that you have, like you just transferred to a new school, and then you got no friends, so you have to make friends, right? But you feel awkward to do, you don't know how to start. Storytelling can help. Another thing, mom or your parents want to have a quality time with you, but they're quite smart because they don't want to just say, oh, hey kids, I have something to talk to you. Instead, they are so smart and creative, and they will start, after finishing the dinner, they will start like, all right, when I was grade, I, saw your dad, and I went to a park, and then we fall in love, and then we kiss, and at the end of the day, we have you. For example, another example would be our teachers sometimes have the urge to connect with the student because they believe it's quite important to have a relationship between teacher and the student. So they just start to be like, when I was grade, I would just have to swim across 5 rivers. I have to climb 10 mountains, and sometimes I was being chased by tiger or lions. It's quite unrealistic, but this is what makes you attached to the story and to their class. Second would be about inspiring people. Well, storytelling can illustrate the map for people to walk, and it's quite inspiring to the level that it can move people from a low level to a higher level. Let's take TED Talk as an example. It's a really famous program that invites the motivational speakers to the stage and to give the speech in order to motivate the listener, the audience, to move on. For example, there's a person who fell into depression and lost everything in their life, losing his family, his job, and everything. So what should we do as a storyteller? We have to tell the story. By telling story, the effect is quite effective because it can make that person go and move on from that low part to that higher point. Well, now let's move on to our third point, which is about widening our perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that everyone here, we start in a cycle. Well, what is the cycle? Well, actually, we just wake up and then have breakfast, and we go to school or go to work, and then we have to sleep, and then repeat that process again. It's quite boring, right? And we have to start in that circle, so we do not have any chance to travel the world. We don't have anything new, any vision about the outside world. So sooner or later, this will soon lead to what is called stereotype. And stereotypes sooner or later lead to discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, so what should we do to minimize the impact of this circle? We have to tell the story. See the power of storytelling? So now, let's go on to the fourth point, which is about enhancing our imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, storytelling have a powerful impact to make people be creative. Take gossip as an example. The gossiper tend to have a high ability in order to make people attract to the story. They have to use their brain to think and be creative about their work, about their plot, about their theme, and the whole story. Well, this is the power of storytelling. So now let's move on to our fifth point, which is about introducing us to moral. Well, I believe everyone in this room knows moral and has been taught about moral. Well, moral is actually don't do this because it's bad, or do this because it's good, right? Take do not lie as an example. Do not lie because it's bad. But when your first impression is like, all right, okay, it's a good moral. I have to practice this thing. It's quite good. I didn't have to lie to everybody. But then after hearing for the second time, the third time, the fourth time, fifth time, and 10th time, it's quite boring and frustrating, ladies and gentlemen. So what should we do as a moral teacher? We have to invent something unique, which is called story. By telling the story can make people move and change and get attached to your moral. Well, just take Pinocchio as an example. Pinocchio is actually a wooden boy whose nose never stopped growing because he keeps lying non-stop. But what is the look back? What is the moral of the story? The moral is do not lie because it's bad. It's the same, right? But see the effect. Well, if you look back to the first approach, we can see that it's quite low, it have low effectiveness. But if you look into the second approach, it's quite effective. Ladies and gentlemen, last not least, we have entertainment. So sometimes we even forgot that we have storytelling. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the Industry 4.0 era. So actually, sometimes we rely too much on technology to help us entertain. But one thing that unique about storytelling is that it can help us and prevent us from the losing of hearing ability and losing our eye visions. And also it helps us to concentrate more compared to technology. So why don't we start using storytelling? To sum up, storytelling is a quite powerful tool for humanity because it can connect people, it can inspire people, it can widen our perspective, and it can also enhance imagination, introducing us to good morals, and also entertain us. So ladies and gentlemen, please remember that in order we have the storytelling is the most powerful way to put our idea into the world today. So that is it for my presentation. Thank you so much for attentively listening to my speech.